So what's up guys? So as you can see ahead of the open, we are looking like we want to have a pullback into the areas that we are having as our targets here, as our area of interest. I would be open to also buying from this area. So we have our pre-market buy side liquidity set out here. The pre-market sell side would be this high. So this is any high that is formed in between 7 and 9:30 a.m. That is the high. So this is the buy side. So let's see what will happen on market open. So we have to look at what's going on with the ES2. What do we have on ES? Do we have SMT at the highs prior to the news open? Don't see that. The highest high was at 23 and the highest high is at 22. So that high is not supposed to be taken out. So let's see what the market open will give us. So currently we are trading in premium, and I expect us to dip into discount before we have our move high. So the discount prices is any price levels below the midnight open, preferably. Yeah, so I'm going to be trading this as a Judas swing. So this is an initial move up to trick people into going long. So we are going to just wait for a setup to take place. Now this we already have, delete that. So we have our levels. Let's go to the 5-minute and see. So first and foremost, we have invalidated that SMT quite aggressively. We have SMT with ES. We did not sweep the high, but I expect it to catch up though. This was the 4-hour SMT that we had. We have swept the highs. A failure to take out this high would indicate a move down into discount. Yeah, we just took it out. So now we wait for a setup. Can you look at the 1 hour and see whether we have levels that we may be looking at? You may find some resistance at this level. Let's see. What was this low? This low was 23,571.3. This was 575.8. So we did not take out these lows with the open of the 9:30. At 9:30 we did not take out these lows. So these are relatively equal lows. So we have relatively equal lows here. Equal lows. This is why I'm not looking to go long. We are very extended for the day. Equal lows, and I would also call this other equal lows. We have, I'd say at least we would come and get these initial lows here. Do we have SMT on this leg? No, we don't. Do we? This is the high, 931. So if we inverse this fair value gap, I'd be looking to take a short, a stub lower from here to here, extending this. I want this to be treated as an inversion fair value gap in the near future. want a structure. The structure that I want to see forming is of this sort. So I want to see us push higher, retrace, form some sort of order block, then break lower, and a retest of it to push lower. So our target would be this low. So this is the kind of structure that I'm looking to have here on NQ, and we are following through. So right now we are in this phase of the market of price action formation. So now I want us to fail and overlap this. This is the one that will give me the signal to go short for these lows at least, and for further targets of this order block and this pre-market lows. So let's see. I will also be observing for SMT. As you can see, we swept this high. This high is higher than the previous high, so I'd say we can go short here with this high as our stop. This is a paper trade, and I'll also show you the execution on my actual account. So I'd be looking for a sell at that point with my stop at this high, my target at this initial low. On the actual trade that I'm going to be taking, I'm going to be waiting for a better confirmation like that. So NQ, we're looking to sell. Nice stop there, and I'll only be targeting for 35. So this is my trade. And TP hit. So that was my TP. I was only looking for 35 for today. I know the trade is under a minute, but that is the invalidation that you're looking for. So the fair value gap has been inversed. And then now zooming in, we want to see the 50% used as resistance on price to move price action lower, at least into these lows and into the discount prices of the range of the day, at least to the discount price, which I term as lower than the midnight open. As you can see, we had a retracement, we had a retest of the area. I'd also be looking for this to function as resistance on price. Why? Because this is a breaker, bearish breaker. So the overlap of interests are all coming into saying that we are looking to move lower. As you can see, the bodies are telling the story. If you were to come here and have the wicks switched off, let me show you what the body is telling. Let's have the wicks off and see. Do you see how the body is closed inside that fair value gap, failing to go higher? This is a bearish indicator that price action is moving lower and it is moving aggressively. This is what you want to see if you are selling. Sorry about that, I don't know what happened. A close below this would be good, which makes this another order block, and this should not be traded to again if we close lower than that, if we close below this up close candle. So let me have the wicks back on. So I can have, since I took a win on the other side, I should also have a win on this other side. So I'm going to have 0.5 off. I'm going to buy 0.5 to have something, and stop loss is already at break even because I expect this fair value gap to hold. Yeah, we just tapped into it. This is the fair value gap, which is blue, it's there. So we expect that fair value gap to hold, which actually perfectly overlaps with the break, so we can actually put this as one. So that's the area of selling that we expect accumulation of sales to take place in this area. As you can see, we have a very good reaction off of that area, also respecting the inversion fair value gap that we had. That is a very bearish signature of price. So currently I'm looking at the stream. Oh, we got stopped out, sadly, but for me it was a win. Let me show you the W that I had. Expected those two to be respected though, but for those that targeted the base hits W, you go in aggressively with only one trade. And respect your rules. So what's something I had somewhere that really resonated with how I found myself trading this week. So this was my trade setup. So as you can see, we had a very aggressive push. So if I was to map out my trade on top of this, I'd say that this was my trade setup. I had a short whereby I took it at just this high with my stop there, and my target was roughly at this point there. So I had a risk to reward of roughly 1 to 2. As you can see, we are failing to close above it, above the breaker, above the inversion fair value gap. It's like we went above and respected it. So we still possibly could move lower, but right now it is significantly lower probability that we move lower. I always find myself trading early. That's something that I'm going to actually factor in, because I always want to trade within the macro time, which is around 9:45 to 10:15. But before that happens, I always find myself in a trade, as we did today. Yeah, many times it is a win, but the one time that it is a loss, it really impacts how my psyche, I guess, is, because I subconsciously want to trade during the macro time, because this is when the best opportunities present themselves. As you can see, we are still respecting it. So this is the trade that I took, so we can just have this off. So you can see that push lower is it's not giving us what we would like to have. So what I don't like about this trade is that it was a trade within 1 or less than 1 minute, and currently it represents roughly 50% of the trades that I have taken, well, 50% of the total profits in the account. So yeah, this is not a good sign. I'd wait for the setup to form properly at the hour's end. So once the 10 a.m. candle closes, probably setups will start showing up from there. So yeah, that's that. Oh, let me leave that on. So this was my setup for the day. Oh, I should have left this on too. I don't know if I can see the levels that I had here. So my target was roughly 23,648, and this one is at 638. Oh yeah, so it's roughly, that is roughly the TP, because I entered at 668, not 668, yeah, roughly 668, no, 675. Oh, the charts are not the same. Okay, so different levels on these different broker charts will always have us on chokehold, because we think we see things but we don't. So I guess that was that. That's the W of the day. I'll be calling it there. Hope you have a good day, guys. Peace.